The Yellowstone universe is growing like wildfire, and honestly, I'm here for it. Each new spin-off adds another layer to the epic Dutton family saga, and if you're trying to keep track of it all, you're not alone. So I thought, why not break it down in one simple guide? No spoilers, I promise. Just a walkthrough of what each show brings to the table. Let's go in order, starting from the very beginning. 1883. This is where it all starts. 1883 is basically the origin story of the Dutton family. We're thrown back to the late 1800s, where James and Margaret Dutton, along with their kids, set out on a journey across the American frontier. They're part of a wagon train heading west, and let's just say it's not a walk in the park. Disease, outlaws, brutal weather. This show doesn't sugarcoat anything. Their daughter, Elsa, is the narrator and emotional core of the story, and you'll probably fall in love with her character. If you're into powerful storytelling and a raw, emotional look at survival in the Wild West, 1883 is a must. Honestly, it's still my favorite entry in the whole universe. 1923. Fast forward a few decades and we get 1923, which follows the next generation of Duttons, Jacob and Kara. Jacob is James' older brother, and together with his wife Kara, they're trying to keep the ranch going during some incredibly tough times. This show blends classic Western grit with major historical themes, the Great Depression, Prohibition, and the early days of industrialization. And then there's Spencer, Elsa's younger brother, who's off on his own epic journey. His love story with Alex, chef's kiss. Plus, the storyline of Tiana, a young Crow girl, gives this show even more depth. It's not just about the Duttons, it's about the world they're living in and the people being affected by it. 1944. This one's still in the works, but it's shaping up to be the next big chapter. It'll probably dive into the impact of World War II on the Dutton family and the ranch. Think, sons heading off to war, pressure from the government, and the beginning of serious modernization. We don't know much yet, but if 1883 and 1923 are any indication, 1944 will give us another emotional and gripping look at a new era in the Dutton legacy. I've got a separate video breaking down what we know so far. Check it out after this one. You'll find the link in the description. 1969. This one isn't official, but fans have been buzzing about a 1969 series, thanks to a scene at the end of 1923. If it happens, we'd be right in the middle of one of the most transformative times in American history. Civil rights movements, Vietnam War, and of course, cultural revolutions. It'd be fascinating to see how the Duttons handled all that chaos, especially how the younger generation might challenge the ranch's long-standing traditions. Fingers crossed, they greenlight this one, Yellowstone. And here's where it all started. Yellowstone follows John Dutton, the present-day head of the family, as he fights to protect his massive Montana ranch from developers, shady politicians, and pretty much anyone who tries to mess with his land. This show is a wild ride, full of family drama, power struggles, and some seriously intense moments. Beth, Rip, and Casey, total icons. The mix of modern-day ranch life with old-school Western vibes is what makes Yellowstone so addictive. The Madison. Now here's something fresh. The Madison is a new show from Taylor Sheridan, and it's set in the Yellowstone universe, though it doesn't follow the Duttons directly, at least not yet. It stars Michelle Pfeiffer as Stacy Clyburn, a New Yorker who moves her family to Montana's Madison River Valley after a tragic plane crash. It's about grief, healing, and adapting to a completely new way of life. Filming wrapped recently, and it's expected to premiere in 2025. While we're still waiting to see exactly how it ties into the larger Yellowstone story, it definitely adds a new emotional layer to the universe. Beth and Rip spinoff. Let's be real, Beth and Rip are fan favorites for a reason. Their relationship is explosive, emotional, and totally captivating. So it makes perfect sense that a spinoff about them is reportedly in the works. We could see them building a life away from the ranch, starting their own legacy, or maybe even raising a family. Wherever they go, you know it'll be intense. Casey spinoff. There's also been talk about a potential Casey spinoff. He's always walked a fine line between the family business and his own values, especially with his background as a Navy SEAL. A spinoff could dive deeper into that struggle. Maybe he and Monica try to build something new, or maybe he gets pulled back into the Dutton drama in a whole new way. Either way, Casey deserves more screen time, and that's the Yellowstone universe so far. Which spinoff are you most excited about? Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to check out the next video.